In today's session of Divorce Court.
When Shannon Peacock met Joshua, she wasn't looking for a long-term commitment.
It was going to be a one-night stand, that was it.
Oh, my God.
He asked me the night that we met that if I would marry him.
Well, you've been living in a cave.
And she regrets ever saying, I do.
When you're having sexual intercourse with your husband and he calls you another name, that's a problem.
She's a lunatic.
The first night that I met him, he lied and told me that he had practiced a lot of safe sex.
Now, you didn't go for that one, did you?
Yep, sure did.
Now she says he caused their child's death.
I'm talking about an STD that he passed toward me.
That caused your little girl to die?
That's exactly right.
What was the STD that caused your little girl to die?
Syphilis.
Today, Shannon Peacock and Joshua Peacock fight to gain control of their separate lives in divorce court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Joshua Peacock versus Shannon Peacock, and I'm advised that after a 5-year marriage and a recent separation, you're ready to end it?
Yes.
Mrs. Peacock?
Yes.
Why?
Because the whole time that we was married, he could never keep a job, and whenever he did keep a job, or he tried to keep a job, he couldn't keep his hands off the women that he worked with.
Your Honor, that is a lie.
He had his hands on the women that he worked with?
Yeah.
That's
No,
a
ma'am,
violation
that
of
is a
employment
lie.
laws.
That is a lie. She constantly interfered with my jobs. I couldn't hold a job when I was with her. Now
That is
that I'm
not
without
true.
her, I have a job that I've been keeping and
With the
hanging
state.
on
And how
to.
long have you had it?
Since we moved back to Cleveland, I went back to work for my father.
Just give me time frame. How long? Every
About
time I
6
ask you how,
months.
you go far back. So now you've been working for 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Since you separated, you can keep the job.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you don't have her interference.
Because he works
Yes,
with
ma'am.
his
That's
daddy.
what you say.
Yes, ma'am. And she still calls. Just about every week, every morning. She'll call up there while I'm trying to work, and my dad has to come and get me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing to come to a phone just to talk to her.
So now you're working for your father.
Yes, ma'am.
So Mrs. Peacock, he's saying that his little red head over there, that you just was so much in love with it, you could
No.
not allow him to work.
That is not true. When you're sitting there and you're having sexual deals with your husband and he calls you another name, that's a problem.
Sexual deals? Is
yeah,
that what
when
you're
you're
saying?
having sexual intercourse with your husband and he calls you another name,
That's
that's
a
a
lie.
problem.
Well, wasn't
And-
it a name of, you know?
And I called, yes, I did
Was
call
it
the
your
girl.
pet peeve?
No, I called the girl and I talked to her.
Wait a minute,
These
because
two
he
girls-
called you another name, how did you know who it was?
Because he had told me where she worked.
Called you another woman's name while you're in heated sexual
That's
relations with your
exactly
husband.
it.
And so then you went to look for her.
Yeah, I asked him.
Why would you go looking for her?
Well, I asked him who she was, and he said it was a girl from work, and I called and talked to her. Do
For
you
what?
not think I have the right to call and ask what was
Well, I
going
would want to
on?
know, why would you want to call her? Because
Because I wanted to see if he was cheating on me, because I've been the breadwinner for all these years.
why you just couldn't ask him? Why did you have
Because
to
he
call her?
lies. He is a complete liar. He lied the night that we met.
And the woman that he's messing around with is going to tell you the whole truth.
She told me what I needed to know.
She told you what you wanted to hear. You wanted to hear her say that he was. And she said yes. Now, how do you know she wasn't lying? Just to get you riled up and to leave him because she really wanted him. And knowing that if you were
Well, why would
insecure enough to call her, she'd just go ahead on and say
Why
it,
would
and then
he
you'd
call
leave.
me her name then? Why would
I
he
don't
even
know.
say
Let's find
that?
out. Why did you call her your name?
I
Maybe he was
didn't.
working so hard, he was thinking about it.
I didn't.
You didn't call out this other
No,
person's
ma'am.
name?
No, ma'am.
So how did she find out the name?
I have no idea. I have never cheated on her.
Well, maybe she was
She
just
has
coming to work
admitted
so
to
she
me
could
that
see
she's
you.
cheated on me.
Why are you going to his job if you say you're working all the time?
I did not. That's what I have proof on that. I
She
did
came.
not go to
Mr.
his
Peacock.
job. Whenever he told me to come up there, when he was training, he told the guy that owned the restaurant that he would not go to work up there only if he would have a hotel for me and him to stay there together. He came
Oh, my
home.
God.
He drove his motorcycle, which the motorcycle that I bought for him.
Oh, yeah.
So you bought him a motorcycle.
I bought him everything. When he came in this relationship, he had one pair of pants, one shirt, a pair of shoes, and that's it.
So if he had one pair of pants, one shirt, and one shoes when you met him, then you knew that you were going to have to clothe him, and what did you expect? A man of his age with one pair of pants, one shirt, and one shoes, you just bought yourself somebody to clothe.
You're exactly right.
Now, you said when you met him, he told you a lie. What lie did he tell you when he met him? The night you met him? You forgot you said that?
No.
What lie
No.
did he tell you the
well,
night
the
you met him?
first night that I met him, he lied and told me that he had practiced a lot of safe sex and stuff.
Told you that he practiced
Yeah.
safe sex.
And he didn't.
Now, you didn't go for that one, did you?
Yep, sure did.
Where you been living in a cave? He told you he practiced safe sex, and you believed it. How do you know that was a lie?
I believed him
How do you know it was a lie?
because of some personal things.
Really?
Some personal
Because
things
he
that
didn't
came out.
practice safe sex with you?
Because of things that he caused of our little girl to die of.
He caused your daughter to
caused
die?
it. Let
Yeah.
me tell you one
Wait
thing.
a minute.
No, hold on.
No. Your husband not practicing
Yeah,
safe
because
sex
he
caused
fooled
your
around
little girl
so
to die?
easily. Yeah.
What? Tell me about that.
Because of the things that he had that he
You
brought
had
in
a
the
little girl.
relationship. Yeah, we had
And
a
she
little girl.
died?
Yeah.
And what did she die of?
She had Down syndrome, and of course, of the things that we went through had its course on her, and
Down
deteriorated.
syndrome.
Yeah.
How did his not
No,
practice?
I'm not talking about Down syndrome. I'm talking about another ordeal.
Okay, Mrs.
I'm talking about an STD that he passed toward me.
that
and I
caused
did
your little girl
That's
to die.
exactly right.
What was the STD that caused your little girl to die?
It was syphilis.
And that's what she died of?
Yeah.
Now, Your Honor,
Hold on a second.
she was.
And he passed that on to you, and it caused the death of your daughter.
Yeah, because
And you
we-
survived it.
Because I didn't know.
Was
Because
that
I
why
didn't
you were
know.
carrying her?
That's it. Because it had, by the time that, because he asked me the night that we met that if I would marry him, okay? And I told him no. And I was pregnant.
How long after you met him?
I got pregnant really soon after,
How soon, Mrs. Peacock?
about a month after.
So, and when you got pregnant with him, did you have safe sex the night that you had sex with
No.
him? So then you knew that he wasn't practicing safe sex immediately. You weren't either. So did your husband cause your daughter to die, or did you and your husband cause?
Me and him both did.
Thank you very much. Because you, at the moment he had unprotected sex with you, you were fully aware that he wasn't practicing safe sex. And you were fully aware of the risk. You took a risk, and he took a risk. You both contributed to your daughter's death. That's if the doctors say the syphilis caused the death. Right?
Yeah.
And so you married him anyway after that.
I didn't know. That's when we found out that had happened. Because in the state of Mississippi, you have to get the blood test done. And that's when it came back and showed that there was a problem on that.
When you applied for your marriage license?
Yeah.
That's when you found out that you had an STD?
Yeah.
When the test came back, it came back and said that she was in the second stage of it, and I was in the first stage of it.
No,
So
because
if someone is cheating here, it was her.
When divorce court returns, Shannon testifies about the new man in her life.
I have a man now.
Oh, now you have a real man.
That's exactly right.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Shannon Peacock, who says she never intended to marry her husband Joshua. She only wanted a one-night stand.
How long had you known him? 2 days, 2 months, 2 weeks?
A night.
One night. And he said to you on that one night,
And he wanted to marry
when
me.
he's about to have sex with you, guess what? I practice safe sex. And you believe that.
I did.
Because you were hot and heavy at that moment and you weren't about to
Exactly.
get up.
You're right. That's
know
all I
I'm right.
wanted. That's all I wanted. I didn't intend to a relationship. It was going to be a one-night stand. That was it.
So now this has been a problem from the beginning.
Yeah.
Cheating or whatever other affairs. So this is no surprise to you, is it? Is that right?
You're right.
And even if he wasn't, you wouldn't believe it, would you?
At that time, I would have believed anything he said.
Anything he said.
Yeah.
Was this your first relationship? No, I'm not going to answer that question. Don't want to know the answer. Some questions you don't ask unless you know the answer. I don't want that answer. So, Mr. Peacock, she's saying that you remained running around and you stopped and changed your ways. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And once you married and said, I do, and the commitment...
Once I got married to her, it all changed as soon as the paper was signed.
What changed?
Her.
How did she change?
She accused me of asking this girl to use her car to come home with. Which, if I couldn't get a hold of anybody, I would walk home.
So you're just saying your wife was just in a jealous rage, and every time you looked at a woman, she accused you of being with the woman.
She'd sit there.
She's a lunatic.
Yes, ma'am. She kept me away from my mother and my grandmother for a whole 5 years.
Your Honor, he is wrong.
How? She run them off from the house?
How can somebody keep you from your mother and your grandmother 5 years unless you don't want to go see your mother and grandmother?
Because I wanted the marriage to work. I wanted it to work out.
Hold on, I want him to answer this one.
And then, instead of going up there to be with them, she would tell me, well, if you go up there, it's over between us. And I wanted the marriage to work out.
That is not true.
So you thought a marriage would work with your wife saying to you, if you go to your parents and go visit your mother and grandmother, the marriage is over? You really thought it would work?
Yes, ma'am.
That is not true, Your Honor.
I tried to make it work.
Can I
tell you what, I don't know how much love you have for your mother and grandmother, but all the demons in hell and all the threats from anybody would never keep me from mine. Now, Mrs. Peacock, do you have a mother?
Yes, I do have a mom.
And you had the nerve to tell your husband
I did not tell him that.
Can I finish my question?
Yes.
Did you tell him he couldn't see his mother and grandmother?
No. I was going to buy him a bus ticket to go see his mama, and he said he didn't want to go because I wouldn't go with him.
Well, now I'm going to tell you something. Like I said before, nobody can keep you away from your parents. Your wife may suggest that you not go see them. Your wife may tell you that she will be angry with you if you go and see them. But you know, the only person that can keep us away from our parents or anyone else where we want to go is you. So if you really wanted to see them, you could have gone to see them. Now you're using it as an excuse that she kept me away. You probably didn't want to see your mother and your grandmother in the first place, but you could use your wife as an excuse.
Can I say something else, please?
No, I don't want to talk about the mothers and the grandmothers anymore.
Okay.
They're not here to defend themselves. Let's talk about the two of you.
He always got money from me.
Well, he only got it because you gave it to him.
Because I gave it to him.
Right. Why didn't you just keep your money in your pocket or in your purse?
Because I thought I loved them.
Yeah, because that lust that happened the first night just kept going on and on. And you bought yourself a man.
I didn't buy myself a man. I have a man now.
Oh, now you have a real man.
That's exactly right.
Oh, who is that?
Toy. That's what you
No,
brought
I don't
up
have
in
a
here, didn't
toy.
You bought what?
I don't have a toy.
Oh,
You're
now we're going to start
toy, buddy.
mudslinging between the man. And is this gentleman sitting over here your new man?
That's right.
Now, you're upset with Mr. Peacock saying that you always paid for everything and you did everything, and now you have another man, so what do you want me to do?
I just want him to pay for his part of his, I want him to pay for the bad checks he wrote.
When did he write these bad checks?
When we was together.
So now you're being sued for it?
Yeah.
So you're saying he wrote the checks?
I can't get an account now because of him. When it comes back, for me getting an account, it comes back Josh Peacock. It don't come back with, it comes back, and I try to explain to him that we are separated and stuff, but it does not matter.
So you're saying all of these checks were written by him, $1,170?
Right.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
Plus attorney's fees and all for $1,561.
Yes.
And
no, ma'am.
18%
I did not write all those checks.
Yes, he did.
Mr. Peacock, what do you say about this?
I may have wrote a few of them, but I did not write all of the checks.
You didn't write all the checks to bounce?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Both of your names were on the accounts?
Yes, ma'am.
And who was putting money into the accounts?
I was. I was putting money into that account.
He is.
But neither one of you kept your checkbook balance too well.
Yes, I did.
I tried to. See, I couldn't keep a job because of her, so I couldn't keep money in the bank.
No.
Oh, that's right.
That
And so if you didn't have money in the bank, why were you writing checks?
Because I thought I'd have the money in the bank when she done run out and wrote checks on it.
No, I did not.
Well, Mrs. Peacock, I'm going to stop you for a minute.
Checkbooks came up missing.
I can't decide that you didn't use it. Your name is on this account as well. You don't have a copy of one check to show me that he's the only one that wrote these checks. Not one. Your name is on the account. His name is on the account. How do I decipher and decide that only he wrote the checks? I mean, I have a little wisdom, but I don't have that much.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
Close your mouth, take a breath, don't open it. Did you hear anything I said?
And an update on the case of Tara Lockett versus Daryl Lockett.
You think that if a woman has a friend who happens to be a female, whose company she happens to enjoy, that it must be a lesbian affair.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back and the verdict is in the case of Shannon Peacock, who says she's divorcing her husband Joshua because she's found a better man.
You came to this court asking me to make him pay for all these bounce check charges. This complaint names both of you. So as far as the bank is concerned, both of you are responsible for the bounce checks. And this court has the same problem. Both names were on there. If he was the only one writing the checks, the bank could have very well just gone after him. How do I know that only the checks written, every check written that amounted to this?
They are going after him. But
they're going after both of you.
Whenever I go to try to get a checking account nowadays, it comes back. Josh
and it's going
Peacock.
to keep coming back until it's paid.
I pay my bills.
Okay, you're not listening to me. You're just running off at the mouth, talking like nothing. I don't know who you're talking to. She must be talking to Joe, because I'm not listening. Did you hear anything I said?
Yes, ma'am, I did. You know what? I have these letters right here. Could I please read it just a little bit, please?
I doubt it. It's probably not going to say anything worthwhile.
Yeah,
what is it going to say with response to this?
That he has not kept a job.
Okay, he's not kept a job. He said that. Who says that he's not kept a job? Somebody else? All right? He said that from the beginning. He says, I didn't keep one because of her. You made him. You said you didn't keep one. Okay.
That is not true.
I don't know whether it's true or not. Point is, you guys wrote these checks. Somebody wrote them. It's on a joint account. The checks bounce. Both of you have to pay. Each of you pay half. Now, when you get the checks and prove that he wrote them all, then you, even if he wrote them all, if he wrote them during the marriage, and if he wrote them on an account that was in both names, even if he was the only person signing the checks, Mrs. Peacock, you would still be responsible for half. Close your mouth, take a breath, don't open it.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm finished with it. It wouldn't matter if he wrote them all, only his signature was on every single check that bounced. As long as they were written during the marriage on a joint account, you would both be responsible for the money, and you're still both responsible. The order of this court is that each of you pay half. That's the order of the court.
Can I say one more thing?
No.
All rise.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Tara Lockett versus Daryl Lockett.
He got up in my face, pointing in my face, spitting in my face. That was my last straw.
Spit in your face?
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Tara Lockett said she was devastated when her mother died, and her husband Daryl's temper and jealousy only made things worse.
When you experience someone that's that close to you that passes away, you don't really focus on too many things. When he came home from work, I left. I was hanging out with a friend because that was a place that I felt that I can go where I wasn't questioned about, well, your mother, how did she die?
This is a female friend.
This is a female friend.
You think that if a woman has a friend who happens to be a female, whose company she happens to enjoy, that it must be a lesbian affair.
He hit walls, he put holes in the walls, he got up in my face, pointing in my face, spitting in my face. That was my last straw.
Spit in your face?
At the time, I didn't want to deal with it anymore.
They came to court because Daryl refused to give Tara pictures of their young son. The judge ordered Daryl to make copies of the pictures for Tara. Daryl still has custody of their son. Tara is allowed visitation on weekends and holidays. Daryl says it is difficult to talk to Tara because his heart is still broken, and his main focus is the well-being of his son and helping him adjust to the divorce.
She got what she deserved.
He never supported me. I lost my house because of it and stuff.
I think her decision was a fair one.
He was a total loser, and he'll always be a loser.